Please stand by. Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. America, blessed be our founding fathers. This is 10 o'clock talks. Hey, good to have you guys here. Let's get rocking. Wow, I had to think long and hard today about tonight. I got to talk to some professors of law, historians, did a little communication thing with them. So I got some things I want to talk about because March 4th, was so important, correct? Correct, yes. We know that part is real. A lot of high expectations, and we'll get to that in a minute. So, if it's your first time joining in, I know we have some new platforms welcomed us in, said, hey, do your thing. We appreciate that. And I got some special hellos to you guys as well. So anyway, I hope you're doing good. I hope your day was halfway good. I mean, it got really cold in Pittsburgh. That's where I'm coming out of. From Pittsburgh for Pittsburgh. Support to all small businesses across America. Get out there and support. Let's crush this Chinese effort and all these other efforts coming in. I like to tell you to boycott Walmart so bad, but we have nowhere to shop. It's crazy. It's a lock mechanism in ways. And it's not that the company itself's bad. I believe they were American-based family anyway. It's just the product to deliver it at a price at the time. And now we're in that hard part of what do we do? We want to boycott, but we have needs. So, yeah, a lot to be said on those kind of things. So, again, we come on about 10 o'clock at night. We do an upload for anybody that's new watching. So, check us out, man. It's just a thing. And, we have a voice that's here for you. That's all I can tell you about it. So, I want to send a mother birthday up there and just acknowledge. So, happy birthday. Big Papa Pun, forgot yours. Follower, good friend. Wow, knew this guy from Big Papa describes this gentleman. He's huge, big boy. Nice kid. Nice kid. Happy birthday to you. Sorry I was late on that. But I thought all day how to deliver this, and I want to get to that. And I'm kind of at a crossroad because I want to give you the best I can give you and keep you positive. And I say things are happening regardless. Things are happening regardless. America, we are strong. I mean, I know we are. I hear your voices. I see your postings. I get your grief. I love the humor. And I'm going to throw a little at you maybe tonight. You may not find it funny, but I mean, I'm sitting there writing out this stuff, and it's just okay, I'll do it, man. It doesn't matter. If it bombs, it bombs. At least I'm being realistic. I'm not coming across to you giving you a promise for a stimulus check that you never got. I'm telling you right now, it could just be bad. But anyway, so let me get to this here. There's a bunch of ways to go around this. And one thing that is in my mind right now is the teachers and some demands. And I have some demands too. I mean, we're paying school taxes. We're not getting no break. I didn't get no break. They came on time with penalties and all the good things that come with them. You pay them. But the teachers, I'm a little upset with, and I do understand it for a reason. But, I mean, if you really look about returning to the schools, whether this is some type of unionized thing going on with the Democratic Party, I don't know. Part of the big plan, the overall sight to keep children locked in, it could be. Maybe it's not. Maybe they really do have some fears and concerns. But I want to express concerns to you. This all took place. We knew about this way early last year. So these months are going by. Police never stopped going to work. Garbage men never stopped going to work. Your garbage is taken away, right? I mean, I hope that yours is. Some city services, we did lose some. I mean, if you look in my city, it's a mess. It's filthy everywhere. I went out today, and I run, so I'm appalled at what our mayor in Pittsburgh, PA, has done with our city. You know, couldn't afford to keep a couple guys out there, employed to come on. He could have got on the mic and said, "Hey, look, we don't have this, we don't have that. We know that's false, but oh man, it's devastatingly filthy." Pittsburgh, one of the most livable cities. Remember that when you vote, people. Remember that. And he's highly Democrat with Wolf against President Trump. Remember that in Pittsburgh, PA. It's not anymore who you know politics. It's get the young blood in here, a guy or a lady who has a good outlook to make change and take on challenges. But in a small scenario like that, it's an easier piece of pie. You do get to run your city. It's not judged on the outside. So, that said, I had to get off my chest, man, because maybe you're going through the same thing. I mean, masks are everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. Even in people's front yards. I mean, truly. Like, they get out of their car and they just, boom. Are you serious? Well, that should tell you how contagious this could truly be. I don't know. But keep strong, America. Let's keep voicing. Hit me up with ideas, questions. Sometimes I take something off the sites. I throw it together as a matter of concern. And I put in a little analogy and theory into it. You'll find out if for the first time, if you're listening, I do have a lot of that theory in me, so we'll go with that. So I don't get it, though. All the essentials work constantly. Delivery trucks, where are they going with this? I'm not sure. But I welcome many thoughts always. You can hit me up also at TenOclockTalks@gmail.com. Capital T and talk, capital O in the clock, and a capital T in the talks. TenOclockTalks. Gmail.com. Wow, that almost got away from me. But hey, it's happened before. I'm not a professional at this. So Shell Oil announces possibility of up to 9,000 more cuts. And there we go. It still continues. On the other side of things, seen some disclosure papers or comments towards disclosure papers that were released of who just been on that island and who has been on the island. So there's a lot more to be exposed. Shifty Shift. I mean, this man was like, he did weekends there year round. I mean, really. And so anyway, it seems though that there is a little bit of bite going on and some of the things that I'm going to describe and talk about here. So stay with me on it. And I'll try to give you the gist the best I can of what I see, what everybody's shared to me also. So I'm compiling this information, and here it comes. It's coming at you, man. It's coming at you. Stay with me on this. If I haven't lost you already, I'll try not to go crazy long tonight. But I try to perform for you in a way of how they leave me alone. It's more not about how I'm speaking, but I take a different format approach to them. And I think they get that because otherwise I'd have been taken out of here. So to me, it's entertainment. So I'm entertaining here. That's what I'm doing. That's my thought on it. So anyway, let me make a couple mark-offs here because I like to go through things, but I like to sort of keep track of what I'm doing. Ideas come in different ways, If you're scribbling here, I mean, you could start a page and think you're working on something, and all of a sudden you're over here, and it's like, wow, and then it's under this line. It should have been over there. I have to sometimes jumble things back and forth, but, I'm trying to deliver to you the best I can. And I do want to do this right away. Let me find out where I am here. I got a special thanks to these guys. They're really helping to push me and put the platform out there, as well as what we do when we live shoot to Instagram, and sometimes we get on YouTube with short clips. They won't give me no time. They say I have no base yet, so that's okay. I mean, I could do little teeny segment things, and we're going to try to change some of that in case you check stuff out there. So, with that said, hey, we did do a beam. That's what they call it, a beam, where, you can share a feed with somebody. And they basically put their camera up to you and they shoot it into their country. So that's pretty cool. Getting seen out there a little bit. So anyway, I want to shout out to a friend also, Jackie and the gang. Somebody I grew up with. Good person. Jackie, this is a special hello to you. I wish you all the very best. And I want to give special thanks to the 47%, the office of the former president, Save America, and the Patriots. And last but not least, Cajun Truth Seekers. Yeah, everyone's, maybe on those guys, they say they're little theorist people. Hey, so I am, so I dig it. It's cool because we're surrounded in that. Aren't we living in a conspiracy right now? And we are. We really are. I told you about Lockstep and some of the idealisms and the think tank that they put together to put basically against us. This is parts of what we're going through. And, God, these guys were really brilliant, though, in these think tanks. I don't know where they came up with them, but they did. So thank you to you guys. I love what I'm seeing in your, forums with your people and your members, and I hope they get to enjoy some of us. So that said, let me jump into this here. Let me find my paper. I came across something really interesting. Actually, you speak to people and you make statements sometimes and things come back to you. And this is where this came from. And I guess in ways it was about what I mentioned, truthfully, because it was in response to what I spoke on of some of these programs and Henry Kissinger and depopulation and things that we probably never would have thought were being talked about back in his day, but he was the man. He was just like Gore was on the climate change. So these things do go back a long time. And I found something interesting, was turned on to something interesting about Prince Charles, and he spoke at the United Nations. It was a post on YouTube. And again, here we are again with their ideology of a world. And his thoughts, big action is now. We need a green recovery, in his words. We need a one people on one planet. So he wants, are they going to get rid of the United States and all the other countries and we're going to be considered, I guess that's going to be this new world order that they have. That's, I guess, the gist of it. So he speaks on that for about 5 minutes. You could probably find it on YouTube. He spoke on open borders as well. Was that the trigger component that Joe followed? We know he's a puppet. We know it's controlled much more widely larger than just the United States. The involvements here, it's global. But that's not a bad thing because there's a lot of people now that, they're not American people. They're not here citizenship people. They're in other countries, but they love Trump. They love President Trump. They know when Trump was in there, they see what they're going through right now. They don't like what they're going through. They want to see the same type of ending to this as we do. We're all in the same boat. And I tell you what, if we could do an open poll vote in the world, on a world national scale, the votes Trump would get would be so great. It would break the calculator. It really would. And these people tell me this. They told me this over the past 14 months, 15 months that we've been going through this. So we don't just have support in our United States. We have support outside. And it's good vibes. It's really good vibes. They know what's going on. And they're doing protests. I see the videos. I told you I checked some of them out and I watched them. These guys rally up. So yeah, Prince Charles talks on this stuff at the United Nations. Check out the post on YouTube. What I'm telling you is basically what he said, but I'm going to leave the best part of this for right now. It's in his mind and thought that we right now, take advantage of the moment of a reset. That fears me immensely. That That's a fear. We know we have all this out there. You might have cash and whatnot, and it could become worthless. It could be just like the Great Recession, Depression of 1929, where your families, my families that were here coming into the United States or was present to the United States, they lost all their money in the banks. They got left breadcrumbs and offered government soup kitchens. And that's where the control narrative really started to take place, and the tax reforms were all put into place to basically say this is how it's going to be. No real truth to the story, how we got there. And now we're like $30 trillion in debt, and huge debts. Hit a button, make it go away. All you do is print false money anyway. Cash money is more of a note of a bill. I'll get back into that more with you. And Jordan Maxwell, if you guys, any of you people out there know him, listen to this man. He is phenomenal. He breaks down things into black and white, layman English, where you really will get what he's talking about. The bills were not actually created in ways to be cash like cold cash to use. They were actually notes of IOUs in ways. So it's not a theory, and you can look into some of this stuff to find that out. So anyway, listen to Jordan Maxwell if you can. He's getting up there in age. He's very, very, very well known. If you don't know of him, I get that, but check it out. So anyway, they do speak on this reset now. With all these trillions of monies that us in the United States owes in debt for, and now they're claiming it's in debt to China. Yeah, okay. They want a green society. They want it changed. And Prince Charles speaks on this. He really does. This is his outlook. And, you know, from what I understand, somewhere in the world, we're around $11 trillion in debt with this overall picture of the COVID. That's where, you know, monies have been. And I hear the same thing just as we're hearing here, breadcrumbs. You could have got 50 grand. Look what they're doing with this. But there's big stops that have occurred. There are big stops that have occurred. Pelosi had this brilliant idea to slip in at 2 a.m. the possibility of a tunnel system, transit maybe system, 140 million. And you had Schumer somewhere on his property to put a bridge that went into somehow to Canada on one of his properties. Special interest? I don't know. Well, guess what? They got pulled out. Don't know how. Didn't catch the gist of that part of it. And the GOP's disgusted, beyond a doubt. And just like you should be. It's terrible as far as that part. The things that are in there, I mean, come on. We could have did our own COVID, you and I as people, could have sat down and figured out a better game plan than this. I mean, they're just wasting money that's not even there. And they're going to hold us and our families when we're gone liable for what they're going to say is owed. And you know what? It's just going to feed their pocket. Any type of reset they do, it's to take what's left in this planet, like they did in 29 from everybody, and make you restart over. Really, I mean, that's what it comes down to in my mind. Again, I'm not going to be right on everything, and sometimes I get things wrong, information comes in wrong. I'll give you my apologies now. I'm not no news media kind of thing. I got people behind glass here, and they make me laugh at times too, and I really do. So I get helped out a bit, but you know, you can't get fed something that's not true. It sucks. I do the best to clean up everything that I can and know that I'll be the voice for you regardless. I mean, I can sit here and Trump, and I want you guys to have that positivity and hope. With what I'm reading here and a couple other notes that I got today, having this little meeting with some very good people, you know, a historian of America artifacts and I don't know what the exact word is, but he studies all of what we're concerned about the Constitution and all that, what it means, and what it meant in 1933. I'll get to that part though. So let me finish up here real quick and try to just lay this out, if I can, a little bit better and end it off. That you know that you got Rothschilds on one side, you got the Prince on the other side, you got the Pope that's being boisterous saying, if the climate doesn't change, God will bring the rains and wipe out the earth. I mean, really? Come on, Uh, okay, I don't want to say this in a negative way. I got a lot of Christians here who send prayers to everybody, and we need that kind of firing mechanism. We do. But I just thought the comment, the statement, was like, it was a control factor for us to go with this and shut our mouths. And I don't know. We can get into this Vatican thing on a Sunday because I have a lot of information that I'd love to just spit out and talk about. But now's not going to be that day. So on the outside resistance, it's an all world in one plan against us, truthfully. It's going to affect all countries, nations, in the United States. And it's not going to go well. You will see a controlled cashless system, which is already, get this, it's already installed. It's already being installed. And I'll give you a little point. I was at the bank down the street, and this happened to me. Could have happened to you. You verifying it to me by acknowledging this and saying something will help me. 2 different occasions, out shopping, but I just went to the bank. These machines are not taking currency over $50, but the bank's giving it. Not only that, there's certain types of credit cards that are already coming out, and they are already in this cashless system. If you have a little nest egg hidden, use it. None of us know where this can go in a moment's notice. None of us know that. So all I'm saying is if you have a nest egg for a vacation, I don't know, maybe you have a little more and it was for a car and you don't trust the banks right now. A lot of people don't. When this started, I went to the bank. It wouldn't even give me money. I could not get money out of the bank to float over what I do in life, thinking my kids might need something more. I might need something more. I'm going and taking cash out. And I had to wait and argue with them to even get it. I don't know if anybody else went through it, but I know I did, and that is a fact. I did go through that. So that tells me even back at that point, there was something more to the picture as well as the coin shortage and all that. Maybe they already started 86 and things, but we know that there is a credit card system out there. It's going to be a cashless system, and that's why they're not paying you by check on your unemployment and whatnot. And it goes to a cashless debit system. So you already welcomed into that. The reset of a cashless system is already here. Don't think it's not. It is here. So getting that point across to you, this all still reflects back into everything I brought up with Prince Charles and their outlook and the green and this and that and AOC, whatever. Here you got a bartender and a dropout that's going to run this thing. Anyways, really? Come on. I'm a dropout too. I know I got more goddamn sense than you do, woman. Go paint your face brown. Be a little less white and put on a different shade of lipstick. So anyway, yeah. I think America, we need to be safe and think logically. Think ahead at least 6 months into your future right now. I want you to become self-sustainable in a lot of ways. In your communities. A lot of us are going to have ill effect of this. And we are. We're angry. Gardens. You might want to think solar. I don't know. Whatever you can do to make yourself and give yourself your own sense of accomplishment to how you can face the future, because it looks very bleak. It just does. Anyway, if you're in a community and you're in the suburbs and there's farms and you know that there is somebody actually, they're harvesting meats and so forth, touch base, reach out, find out what's going as close to your home as you can and support that end of the line where you're getting the best of the product, because we can't trust things. I mean, you got China with 46,000 acres or something, and Smithfield Foods and all these other changes on the pork industry and so forth. And you got Gates and fake meats, and what's his plan? Is he planning to bring in a militia of all these illegals coming across the borders now that are getting planted into the city, not giving any type of health checks? You're like, do you have COVID? Do you don't? If you do, we should put you here in a warehouse somewhere, kick some, throw you a blanket. I don't know. But no, as soon as they get there, they're transporting them out and putting them in your cities already. I understand 108 arrived in Texas today. I don't know. Was that a slap in the face to Governor? Is it Abbott? Abby? Anyway, I don't know. Payback in some way because the masks are off, which we'll get into as well. So, yeah, just so much is out there. You can't even put a structure to an evening on what will occur and what will come out of my mouth because you can't stay concentrated to one issue. There's so many. I mean, the children, these male athletes now in the female athlete programs breaking their faces and killing all world records of the women. Come on. We're in a very bad time, America. We need to think smart, stay positive, and this doesn't affect one side to the other. The other side, they'll wake, and I think they are. And like I always say this, it doesn't matter who you voted for. At this point, what did you learn from all of it? They taught everybody in the world a big lesson. They did and said what they had to do to get in there, and now you see what is amongst us. And it's not great by any means. It's just not great. So stay positive as you can, because more that I have to say is probably going to make you feel like, ugh. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, stopping Schumer and Pelosi and their own interest plans, I want to go back there just for a minute with these mega millions and the bridges and all that stuff. Yeah, but there's so much more. The GOP can get up like they did the other night and they spoke about this stuff. Grease dripping from the pork coming out of these pages. It's in the middle of the night. It's about pork. I get what they were saying. It was just filled with a bunch of, you know what it is. It's the four-letter bad word. I don't want to, Anyway, so yeah, just very bad stuff. Very, very bad. And was it for transit? Isn't that really weird with everything we're going through that she comes up with a tunnel system? We have tunnel systems. I don't know if anybody knows this. We can go from the West Coast all the way across, underground with tractor trailers. There's roadways under there, and we know that due to the Freedom of Information Act. Some of it's redacted out, but we know they exist. And I actually knew a trucker years back told me this story, and I was kind of like thrown off a wall. He's like, dude, you can go underground and travel forever. And I was like, wow. And I learned that all to be true, that they are out there, as well as, hidden bunkers and places for government. We know that exists. Everyone will agree to that part of it. No real conspiracy there. So this America Rescue Plan. Yeah, what plan, Joe? What plan? It's funny. These people look like morons right now. Nothing they say is credible coming out of their mouth in any way, shape, or form. It's just terrible. So, yeah, Joe, you're a failure, and you didn't have to be. What are you laughing at me about? I don't know what they're laughing at me about, but it doesn't matter. So, anyway, I have a piece of candy caught in my mouth here. I was sucking on these sugarless things. Diabetic, bleh. I do that stuff. So anyway, Trump and his supporters, that's great. But we have to remember it's only the power in the U.S. that we have that's going to gain us power across the world and help cure some of these issues that we're faced with at this point, and the people of the seats in power, because they really do have the power on us right now. And it's terrible. It's just terrible. And the Republicans now, I think, are coming to light who's the real deal there and who isn't. They did have a hidden vote on the impeachment for Pelosi, even though the GOP announced to vote or just go forth without a vote. But it was 38-16, and I think that was a blanket that covered them to see how many they were dealing with on their own side that wasn't being truthful, to the Republican Party, and had other interests possibly to the other side. So they're going forth now with the possibility of a good impeachment, and maybe they woke up to what Marjorie said and where she was at with these things and how she wanted to go forward between Pelosi and Schumer and the possibility of Joe, gotta go Joe, and that not so very important Vice President Harris. But, all right, so they're my thoughts. And I'm going to take you now into what I found out on some of the things about 1933 that may have affected March 4th. Where we're at with that, according to people of educational backgrounds in this, everybody agrees to the 1871 and what had occurred. And, you know, Ulysses S. Grant was the last president. And this is where the theorists get lost. Even myself has been. I'll admit to that. And, okay, cool, got it. I'm not getting a good feed. Anyway, back to you. What was it? March 4th, yeah. So, they call us theorists due to that date, but there's also facts that were never really allowed for us to see, as the hidden things in the world and history always are to disappear and always have. That's why we're unburying them in the sands and everything else. You know, hey, where did man come from? How old's the pyramids and all that? Well, it goes back in history where this has always seemed to happen. You know, everything gets either stolen and hidden or they blow it up. I don't know. It's crazy. So 1871, March 4th, 1933 was abolished. It was defused. It was, at that point in time, no more under any condition of the early America. It went to the new date and time of inauguration, which is the true law of the land. They made sure they saw to it. So, January 20th, the fall after the election, of every election, that's the fall date for the inauguration, the date to fall on. I'm sorry to say that to anybody, but what we have found out, and what I found out by talking to these guys, there's nothing nobody can really do about that. And Trump probably knows that. And his plan when he addressed us is probably something maybe different. Our hopes, our expectations were probably in a different direction. There's also something for the 60-day period after the inauguration that goes to March 20th of a full completion of transition. I don't know how that affects if maybe Trump could have stepped in. We didn't get to that part of the conversation, but that is one laying thing that I got unanswered. The full transition of the party leaving office to the new party that comes into office, military. So, hey, you know, I can only tell you on the dates, and you saw what happened today. There was no special arrival from President Trump. There was no military presence or announcements made. Nothing like that. The only announcement was made was from the Capitol Police screaming for, "We need more help." And there's a lot of threats going up here. And I'm thinking in my head, well, yeah, look at what you work for. You know, you expect anything less? So they're asking for 60 more days. And I don't agree with everything FBI Ray said under his testimony on the 6th. How can I at this point? But it's not all disclosed yet on what they found, who they found, who's guilty. That's guilty. And where Nancy's laptop really is. I think they got the guy. It's been speculated that was probably true. So, yeah, guys, this March 4th thing, there's nothing that these guys could give me in any justifiable way that this could ever happen. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm not a guy of negativity. But I say if there's a future, we have to build it, and we have to build that new one. And maybe we will be in a longer haul than we want. But hey, isn't it better to know that? I mean, truthfully, isn't there, put us in a better place to plan how the future can go for us? And that's why I'm telling you now again, on the next 6 months and what they want, and there could be a pushback in any way, shape, or form. We know that this was more than anything a China event. And what could happen next? I mean, truthfully. And now you have all the states, wonderful states, joining in, and they are our strength. They are showing us positivity that there are governorships out there who do not represent the ideology of this virus, the contaminant of the virus, the effects of the virus, and the fact that they shut us down. And we know that the states that didn't shut down and did wake up early are thriving. Their numbers are great. And we also know that the Dems inside this COVID pack bailout, there was no benefits to any of those states that were working. All the money was going to the blue. Everything was this, let's support the blue. Let's support the blue. I mean, so look what we're up against here. We really have to look at a narrative of forwardness. And, Trump said he had a plan. He didn't spill it all. No good chess player will. He's been battling the hell out of these people for, the whole time he's been in there. He warned us that this election could happen this way. He came out and told us bad things could happen. Bad things are going to happen. You got to stop this. They tried. You've seen the faces getting thrown into the court. Last night I even said it. Maybe it was a mistake, and I apologize to anybody that heard that. My statement was that there could have been possibly something more in a different narrative. And if you reflected the show, you'll be able to kind of see what I was getting to the gist of on it. I want to keep this in this direction because I think this is more important right now. Plan your next 6 months, just in case. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Yeah, I'm a theorist, but I also got gut feeling, and I think you people do too. We're all good Americans. We love our guns. We love our apple pie. And we like rock and roll music, and some prefer others. That's no problem. Some of us, worship more than others. That doesn't make them bad. That makes them with us. We need backup where we fail. We all complement each other. And we're in a good fight together. But let's not dwell on this March 4th. Let's not dwell on March 6th. There's nothing there. There's nothing by law on the books that's going to help us. Unless, and this would be like a miracle in itself. Was there a partial martial law put into effect and never disclosed to us for whatever confidentiality reasons there are? That would be the only insight of a shine of light coming from a dead star that we could ever see. And that is it. Otherwise, it's a long journey. Could Trump think about the 2022 in Florida and then go for the presidency? Or are we already seeing his plan? The mask coming off, going after Schumer and Pelosi, and now for impeachment charges. Are we standing more strong there than ever? I believe we could be. But is this part of the plan, or are the Republican parties themselves starting to, without even Donald Trump, the president, my acting president as I see it, because I know what truly happened with this. The evidence is just too strong to give us any other, it's there. It's what they did. So please take the narrative of these dates out of your head. Think smart. I know there's going to be people out there that are going to be outraged and already are. And maybe things happened in the world that they didn't post up on media today. Maybe things are hush. Maybe there were people out there being violent. I don't know. But I know Washington was like a boarded up city. Just like it was when, the Dems paid off and Soros paid off these young individuals to go in and destroy and destruct all these statues and everything that they did. And that was okay because, again, if it's the narrative, get rid of old history, get rid of the old America. And Trump even came out, made statements. He would no longer put up with people defacing our histories of America. And it seemed to go away. It seemed like that was a wake-up. But today in Washington for itself, speaking for that, as it was months and months ago when I had a friend shoot video for like 20 minutes and he walked like 20 blocks. All you seen was wood everywhere, over everything, and destruction in a lot of ways as well. Well, it was kind of back like that today, except with the armed forces of the National Guard and the Capitol Police. And again, they're shouting out for help. The next 60 days, they figure is going to be very hard, and they're getting tons and tons of threats. And these people are bringing it to themselves, is what I feel will be their own breakdown and their own faults. how do we get on top of their mistakes and capitalize? How do we capitalize their efforts and their own stupidity of what they have done to themselves? I think we're going to see that, and maybe that's part of this bigger plan, and the GOP and the Republican Party fighting back every which way they can. So yeah, keep in mind what I told you. We know there's narratives out there. We know that this is pretty much a premeditated scenario. It's been planned for years and years and years. Hillary not winning was a real jolt to the system that they were ready to start putting in place. Us deplorables rescued the plan and changed it, but now they're back in control in many ways. In many ways. And you see the demeanor. These people were just, they're franked up, man. I didn't say the F-bomb. I said franked, okay? Just so you know, I'm not trying to be over. But it's the truth. I mean, where do they come up with this stuff on where this world is going? I mean, it's just incredibly stupid. So, yeah, please look towards the future. It'll be brighter if we're smarter. And we are strong. Watch what's going on around us. There are some improvements out there. Let me scratch off a couple of these things so I don't confuse my bad self here. I have done that before. I have done that. So I was told we're on somewhat of a halftime. They give me clocks. We only have so much time to upload things. Otherwise, the uploads don't go through. Then you got to go in, you got to edit out the whole ending, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, done. Ta-da! Okay, thank you. All right, between eyes and ears, I heard you. That was from the people in the glass room. Wow. Hey, I didn't ask anybody how you guys doing. Maybe I did, but I hope you're well. A lot of water, health. Got to keep the brain active through this stuff here. You got to really keep it active, man. It's crazy. I want to get to something that's important. I'm not finding my note for it. I probably just threw it on the floor. Is it the H1 5717, the gun thing, where they're sticking all this bullshit? And we're listening to this one here. I got to bring it up. I got to grab this. I have a really good source on this. Likes to keep me involved. Oh, wow. Here, do me a favor. Locate that. Anyway, I'm going to try to give you a gist of it, and then I will read it so it's fact. Did you just watch? You know, I guess they're doing whatever they normally do up there, and they're talking about the illegals coming into the country. And, oh, great. Thank you so much. That's why they're here. They get paid none of the big bucks because everything we do is for free. We ask you for nothing, by the way. And we support a lot of local small businesses in our area. We give them free format here, and that's in a different way. But we're all about support. We won't ever ask you for anything. Just hang with us. That's the important thing. Our message, if it is long-term 4 years, is to be together, not apart. You know, we got to support. Share this thing, man. Get us out there. Let us be that voice. Share what you need said. Tell us what you need said. It'll get there. So anyway, it's basically laid out like this. Pay attention now. I have a hard time with this word. You know what I'm saying. The committee just offered an addendum that requires ICE to be notified when an illegal immigrant tries to purchase a firearms. So, hey, let us know. ICE must be notified. Dem said no. We can't have guns, but they can have guns. And it doesn't have to be reported to ICE. So, yeah, again, what does that tell you what we're up against? It's no longer for the people who built this and struggled, your families that bled and sweat and built. I mean, look at all these buildings out here when you walk out. These didn't come from these people. They came from your families. How America got to be America is through the blood, sweat, and everything that's gone on in this country through your families out there. And we're not talking about any particular one. We're talking about every single one here. And you get something like this where these people come in, now they're getting brought right to the cities. First class, buses picking them up, coming in with, I don't know if this was true or false, but I did see this. Biden, take us in, t-shirts. But for this to come out and the committee, to offer something like this, and if to be turned down by the Dems, it's just another thing that tells us the system is so far corrupt beyond reach. We have to expose anything that becomes available to us. Anything you have that exposes them would be in the greatest interest for what our cause is in America for all people. And again, it's not who you voted for, not the people on the right, not the people on the left. Although we know we won down the middle. We know we unequivocally won. We know it. Joe knows it. Joe knows it. And, by the way, Joe, get out of President Trump's seat. You're taking up space. But, yeah, so the gun issues, big battles, people, big battles. I got nothing more to say on that because it's not the greatest thing to even bring up. Man, I wish I could make your day better. I really do. But, nothing I say here at any given day is really of good value. Especially after, what I found out about these dates and times. I mean, I was even hoping for the best. It's not there, though. It won't be. Something would have happened, believe me. President Trump, he'll always be my president. The one that I will acknowledge. And that's a fact for me on how I feel about it. Man, I just get lost for words when it comes to this stuff because it's just such a never-ending battle. And there's so much. The list is so long. The list is just so long. I want to talk a little bit about Pennsylvania right now, just for a second. That Governor Wolf, he did like a short interview and, made some public statements and whatnot. While 16, 17 states now, Republicans have jumped aside and said, no, we're not dealing with this no more. This is like unconstitutional and whatnot. His view of the picture, and I can only speak for this one state, this is what I caught. And I guess I caught it because I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's not going to give any relief to anybody in any way about the masks or any full returns. Now's not the appropriate time. And also the Allegheny County side, Fitzgerald and his people, the committee over there, we're not ready for any type of early mask. We're in the height of a new higher level of illness. Well, that must be just for Pennsylvania, or none of the facts are real. So Pennsylvania, I say this to you with respect, no time soon. And I just want to show this up here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a 10 right there. Face masks, Save America. It's our own mask. Got some ideas for you guys for those. Everything will be free. We'll do the best we can. Unless we're all just taking them off. I mean, what would it all be about? That's okay. We'll have a huge bonfire, and I'll give you all the address. If you can make it, you come. And I will do that. I would have a bonfire like that. It would be a rocking party. So, yeah. That's one of my last real things about tonight. I'd just like to go through and make sure that I caught everything. I'll give you a little fake news, maybe just for humor to kind of ease this evening over. What do you think of this? I mean, it seems like everybody on the internet's fighting back. So I'm putting a little Facebook glitch thing together. Frosty, Pillsbury Doughboy and Dr. Seuss heading to class, heading up a class action lawsuit to protect the less whiteness system. Betty White, now AKA Betty Black, to attend protests to be held. Pelosi and not so very important Harris give comments while drinking alcohol and having ice cream. I had to just try to throw in a little humor. I don't know if you'll catch any of it. Maybe it was just in my mind. Maybe it was just in my mind. But anyway, I wanted to say that just to like try to crack something out there, you guys. Jackie, again, hello. Merle in Texas, hello. Hello, hello, my people. Again, 47, Office of the Former President. Hello, and thank you for having us in there on your platform, sharing us. Save America, boycott Biden, and the Patriots. You guys rock. I can't thank you enough for all that, man. Honest to God, your support really does show. It does help. And across the board, our numbers were great last night, really. You see Facebook, that's not everything. So we're not fantastic. We're not fantastic at all. Got to give a shout out to Wendy Bell here in Pittsburgh. She has been an activist, a person of fight, perseverance. Man, yeah, I just had to do that for her. I got to show support where it's needed. I mean, really, every day she has this talk. She brings in like thousands and thousands of people, and you see all this dictation things and numbers. We have a couple cameras rolling, streaming a couple different places. One live, 2 uploads, and Facebook does help us, and hopefully we'll stay safe in there under the entertainment platform, even though I'm boisterous and I hurt myself. But I want to give a special thanks, man. I really do right now. Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, wow, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Tennessee, Texas. That is standing up, people. That really is standing up. Yeah, I may have missed a couple today in my head. Thank you guys so much. That gives us positivity in this fight. And when I reach out to you guys on these special platforms and groups, really, bring it to me, man. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about it. You can jump mic with me. We can talk. We can do a whole segment together. These nights don't always have to be bombarded with this type of scenario. I want to see you again. I want you to check in with us again. I really do, man. I enjoy this. Don't know where it's going to get us all in the long run. I may have been a little over the place tonight. I was a little frightful, to be honest with you, to just like come out and say, hey, guys, you know, we're screwed. But we are, it seems that we are. And do everything you can the next 6 months in case these guys pull something on the 16 states, 17 states that are opening that could affect us. Think smart. They're already putting people into the cities. And they hit Texas, and they'll probably drive these people to every one of these Republican states. They're not checking them. They're not health screening them. Not that we're aware of. Nothing's being reported that way. They're just busting them right out. They could be coming in with COVID. Who knows? Or whatever this strain and what really is. And, you know, other disclosures have come forth in the last couple of days. We know more about it. It was something, an ongoing investigation happened a year ago, and they re-put it up. And I should have more information to kind of seal the deal on what has happened in that case and where it's at. Don't con Trump out of this, even though what I told you. He did tell us he has movement, he has plans, he has ideas, and he's going to fight to clean up the party. He's going to take the party back. I think we're seeing some of that. I think we're going to see the Republicans really get strong and try to give him support. CPAC was like rocks, man, you know, and that was a big day for us. Need to say I put up my, you know, whatever I could, military and honorary of the presidents in America, the United States, because my dark cloud showed up November 3rd. My flag still lands at half mast, apologies, in representation to what they did to us, because we know we won. And our only way to stay in this game is to live life good, walk away, take air, get air when you need to. It's very deep, and it can be concerning. It could be a health issue as well, because it just disrupts us, you know. There's all this anger, and you got no way to And we know that there are some people out there that are going to become, you know, a little too maybe political, and take things into their own hands. I hope they think smart for that. I think what we need here is if there's anything that really could be left, that it is military action. Unless we can talk to every one of our family members, cousins, brothers, sisters, and I said this last few nights over and over, everybody that you know in the military, but we got to get to the top. They are not blind. They see what is going on. How can they not? As I said last night, they see what's going on. It doesn't matter who you voted for, but those people on the left now will jump to our side. We are going to pick up more votes. And if it takes 4 years to really wake these people up, we're going to have to stay in that game somehow. And wouldn't it be incredible to see 160 or 170 million votes to nothing? We have that on our side. Yeah, wishful thinking, but we really do. So let's stay with that plan for now, because that's all we got until Trump says something. Remember, he's the man. Listen to the man, not their plan. And let's move forward. Keep good health. And if you have any ideas for us here at the 10, please hit me up. I want to hear from you. I really, really do. And thank you again. Support last night was overwhelming all the way across the board. And many days it has been that. I can give a quick shout out to some local Pittsburgh people here. So if you're still with me, bear just for 1 second. Hello, Steel City Insulation. Hello, Innovative Mode Auto Works. I don't know why I keep coming up with this innovative, but I get it wrong. Innovative Auto Works. Salon Atmosphere, Classic Crafts. I do designs by Eva. McGuinn's Barbershop, Classic Adventures. Air Logic Heating and Cooling. Angela's Pizzeria, Bloomfield. Busy Beaver, Lawrenceville. Ann's Chop House. Bethel Park. Southwest Bikers for Justice. Beth. I know you're there. Thank you so much. Me bikers rock out there. Lawrenceville Motors. 202 Taco. Pigeonoski Repair and Remodeling. Michael Fazio, Real Estate Agent with the Yacht Agency. Mike the Pillow Man. You know how that goes too. Anyway, I'd like to shout out in case, again, if this is your first time in, we have a whole new format to give a lot more help to our local Pittsburgh people here. But if you have somebody you want to shout out to for their business, wherever you're at, and you know they listen to this, they're a member to this group, that group, let us help you give a reminder out there to get them some business into their business into their business. So with that said, thank you for joining in tonight. Hit me up, man. I'm waiting to hear from you. And I'm going out on this, as I always do. Don't judge me. I will never judge you. Have a great night.